explosive and could very well ruin Donald Trump's presidency. So I don't want to waste any time. I want to dive right in. Before I do so, though, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below, drop a like on the video, comment. Let me know what you think about this story. As many of you know, I've received a lot of MAGA trolls across my social media pages recently because Donald Trump and JD Vance teamed up against me on social media, attacking me. And when they attack somebody, their MAGA trolls come with them. And so your support here, backing me through this time, means the world. But look, as I said, I want to dive right in because I'm like giddy. I want to talk about this story. So let me break this down for you. Journalist Michael Wolff, who played a pivotal role in exposing Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein, he interviewed Jeffrey Epstein before he died about Donald Trump in particular, which was an explosive interview. He has filed a lawsuit against Melania Trump in New York, seeking a declaratory judgment and damages for defamation. Wolff is striking back after Melania allegedly threatened to sue him for $1 billion over comments he made about the Trumps and Jeffrey Epstein. And that's exactly what happened. I want to give you more specific details about this lawsuit and some specific quotes that are included in this Axios article that I think you're really going to like. Author Michael Wolff sued Melania Trump after her legal team threatened him with a $1 billion lawsuit if he doesn't immediately retract and apologize for allegedly defamatory remarks linking her to Jeffrey Epstein. Wolff claims the First Lady's lawsuit threat is an attempt to silence him through intimidation and the potential for large legal fees, which is often a tactic that Donald Trump and his buddies have employed against people who are just like average everyday citizens, private citizens. They want to shut them up because of the threat of large judgments or even just paying a lawyer to defend you. He said in this filing, and this one is funny, Mrs. Trump and her unitary executive husband, along with their MAGA Miradones, have made a practice of threatening those who speak against them with costly slap actions in order to silence their speech. And slap cases are strategic lawsuits against public participation, and they're designed to silence and intimidate people. Quote, while the First Amendment has not changed radically in the country, there's been an attempt to discredit the press and journalists generally that have led to the changed atmosphere, which is a quote from Michael Wolff's attorney. Wolff is asking the New York Supreme Court to issue a declaratory judgment that he hasn't defamed Trump, along with compensation under the state's anti-slap law. Though Trump's team had cited Florida law in its warning to Wolff, he sued her in New York, which has stronger anti-slap lawsuits. The Trumps have a long-standing feud with Wolff, who has written 4 books about the president. The White House previously demanded his 2018 book be pulled from publication because this was part of the interview series he did with Epstein, included a lot of the quotes in that book. The suit outlines 11 specific statements. This came from Wolff, including podcast clips, news articles, and Instagram posts that the First Lady's team claims are defamatory. This was the threat toward Wolff, I should say. This is not in Wolff's lawsuit. For example, her lawyers say Wolff's comments imply the First Lady was very involved in Epstein's circle and that the Trump marriage is a sham. Wolff argues those claims were either taken out of context, not authored by him, or were protected opinions by facts, which is absolutely the case. The Republicans, Donald Trump, and the entire Trump family just hate the First Amendment. And just as a reminder, Melania Trump also threatened to sue Hunter Biden for similar claims for $1 billion. This is an article that was published in August of this year. It's now October, and there has been no such lawsuit. So these public threats are just trying to intimidate people. You know that by the amount of people that Melania Trump has threatened with these lawsuits, just saying, you can have a lawsuit, you can have a lawsuit, check under your chair, there's a lawsuit. She's like the worst version of Oprah Winfrey with how many times she threatens to sue people. It's awful. But as I mentioned, Michael Wolff, we're going to hear from him. He posted this video on Instagram talking about his lawsuit and how, quote, to be perfectly honest, I'd like nothing better than to get Donald Trump and Melania Trump under oath and actually find out all of the details of their relationship with Epstein. So let's hear from Michael Wolff and see what he has to say about this lawsuit.
Okay, I have an announcement. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michael Wolff. I've written 4 books about Donald Trump. And also before his death, I extensively interviewed Jeffrey Epstein, not least of all about his relationship with Donald Trump. I've spoken publicly about aspects of those interviews, including the things Epstein said about his relationship with both Donald Trump and Melania Trump. Several days ago, I was notified by lawyers for the First Lady that they intend to sue me for $1 billion for some of those statements. Now, they've threatened and sued other people for related statements about Melania Trump's relationship with Epstein. These are called slap suits. They may have no hope whatsoever of proving defamation, but these suits are filed anyway, or these suits are threatened to intimidate people from talking about this exact subject. I can't live like that. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I'd like nothing better than to get Donald Trump and Melania Trump under oath in front of a court reporter and actually find out all of the details of their relationship with Epstein. Turning the tables on the Trumps and refusing to acquiesce to them. Last night, my lawyers went into court in New York and asked for a declaratory judgment. In other words, we will have subpoena power to call witnesses and to find out exactly what the relationship between Epstein and the Trumps was. Now, this is going to be an expensive effort, and I'm going to reach out and for everyone's support. But I think that this is going to be also a very fruitful way to finally open this dark curtain and find out what Donald Trump, Melania Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein were doing together.
You know, this is a perfect case of FAFO. F around and find out. Melania Trump and the Trump family as a whole have been going around threatening to sue people for using their First Amendment rights because they talk about the Epstein story and Donald Trump's friendship with Epstein and the wider relationship with Epstein that Trump had. They've been threatening lawsuits against average everyday Americans to intimidate them. That's what Michael Wolff is touching on here. And now, because of those threats, Michael Wolff and his lawyers will have the ability to call witnesses, put them under oath, and have them talk about Trump's relationship with Epstein. I couldn't think of a bigger backfire than that, what we're hearing from Michael Wolff, and if they move forward with this lawsuit, which he is, that he's already filed, might I add, then that is the biggest backfire ever. So look, that's why I'm excited about this story, because Michael Wolff knows a lot. He's talked about how Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's relationship ended. Trump's explanation is vastly different than what Epstein said, which is fascinating. And also, Michael Wolff has talked about Epstein showing him photos of Donald Trump with young women who weren't wearing clothes. All right? This is what Michael Wolff said. So he knows. He knows things about Trump and Epstein that I know Donald Trump doesn't want to come out. And him having subpoena power is only going to make this story worse for Donald. So to Donald, to Melania, because I guess they watch, they attack me. To Donald and Melania, congratulations, you played yourself. And this is going to be beautiful. I will continue to provide you updates on this story surrounding Michael Wolff and his lawsuit. Make sure to subscribe down below to stay updated on all of this news. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And man, good day for America, good day for justice. Have an amazing rest of your day. We'll talk soon.
It's been almost a month since the residents of Arizona's 7th District elected Adelita Grijalva to represent them in Congress. And as we've covered extensively on this program, Speaker Mike Johnson is refusing to seat her so that he can delay her deciding vote on a discharge petition to release the Epstein files. Now, because of that, Arizona's Attorney General, Chris Mays, is now suing Mike Johnson. Here's part of an op-ed she wrote for MSNBC.com. Quote, "My message for Speaker Johnson is clear. Respect the will of the